I think I'm on. Let's find out. I'm already doing a bunch of research here. Can we? Why is that not on, dude? What is going on? Seriously. Turn on. How do I do the settings? Okay. How do I turn that shit off now? I don't want to put any. I gotta figure out another way to do this. Okay. Oh, this new whatever YouTube's doing, it's all jacked up. Okay, there it is. All right. We're here for the Opland group. We're going to chat about Hood. We're going to type this in right here. No, that's wrong. Tap, tap, tap. Now, okay, so we're going to look at Hood here. Before I do anything, I'm just going to look at candlesticks here. There's a couple things we got to talk about here. Or I don't know if I should go to SPY first, maybe. PopX, can I do SPY maybe? Let's leave this here. Save that. Okay, this is actually a good chart to look at. It's actually really good. Why is it really good? It's an old chart that I have here. Just I do different layouts, but this is actually a good chart to look at. SPY. This is really good, actually. Is this here bottom? Looks like bottom to me, doesn't it? But we do some bottoming stuff, don't we? There's a low. There's a low. There's another low. There's another low. There's another low. That's the important thing to remember for what I'm going to talk to you about right now, the Opland group, is that what is the actual low? That's a lot of information, isn't it? Is it here, here, or here, here, or here? What's fascinating is that in 2022, the banks are buying all of these lows. They bought that low, they bought this low, they bought this low, they bought this low, and they bought that low. And this was a process that took from May all the way into May. It was a year, basically a year of accumulation. I looked back. The reason I'm saying this is because I looked back to see what the banks were doing in here versus what they were saying publicly. And I was shocked to find out that the buyers down here were banks. I was totally shocked. I was like, wait a minute, they were buying in May and they literally cut the bottom in a time period where there was so much distress in the market and talk about lows to 3,500, which we got here, 350. But while they were selling, they were accumulating. So there was distribution and there was accumulation all around here. So you've got like an office selling. They have a whole nother wing of the banks that are buying at the same time, believe it or not. So you and I trade. We're like, I'm buying, I'm selling. But then you got, I don't know, me and a partner. My partner is doing the accumulating, and I'm doing the selling. It's like a whole nother, like I've got $1 million, you got $1 million, and I take the $1 million to accumulate, and my partner is has $5 million distributing of the $1 million investment. You got to think about it like that, right? You got a lot of workers, so you got people selling and you got people buying. Meanwhile, you've got this whole song and dance. The reason I'm saying this to you, more importantly, is because topping patterns can be immediate or they can take time. And I forget what this is called here, but on the inverse on a tops can be immediate, boom, boom, we're out of here. Or there can be a lot of tops along the way. And we're going to talk more about this in a second here, because there's a trap in Hood. It's not quite a trap, but it's so that's the top, right? So when you top, if you look at something that is it's very old school and archaic, but if you look at it's called a Schlumberger's topping pattern. Schlumberger's, I think. Schlumberger's topping. It's a couple different topping patterns. A few things you need to know here. You've got the initial push up here, right? This is like the FOMO push. No, this one is right here. That's the FOMO push right there. But it kind of starts right here. And if you know anything about Schlumberger's topping pattern, the first attempt at it is usually a success, right in here. What happens is you come back up and you fail that retest. And we begin to really sell. You actually sell to something called an on-balance trade. I think it's called on-balance, or it's like unbalanced volume or something like that. But your first attempt, go back here. Your first attempt right here is a success. And then once you break, listen to this closely. This is where the trap is. Once you break that first test, that's when volume comes in and you go on balance. So that's over here. And an unbalanced trade would mean you close this last gap right around here. Bam, right there. This is just looking at candlesticks. And this was like something from, I believe, 1962, 1967 or something like that. But there's a trap here, because there's something else with hammer candles and tops where they're not that easy. Sometimes this takes time to work itself up. This can be something where you come down here and you actually stop here, and then you start breaking higher. Let me draw this better. So you do something like this, and you fail to make that new low. Wait a minute, let me draw this again. And this is kind of like, you can actually see this is the impulse. And then this one's shorter. You remember when you have these, you should see a new high. We'll talk more about this in a minute, but you should see a new high. This should hold. And then you have the distribution like this. But in the case of Hood, you don't have that distribution. I think we discussed this on stream earlier, where like the moment you get that FOMO impulse, you want to like pretty much snap a line right across there. You could potentially hold this one and this one, but this one being shorter is quite bearish. You wanted to see this one be higher, and even if it came down here, you would expect that to hold and then have the distribution, the break here, and then down and out. If that makes any sense. If it doesn't, it's okay. So you have this like unbalanced volume distribution is what you really need to know. And this whole Schlumberger's thing is like, this is a classic example, by the way, where you can do this on any time frame too. It tends to fail easily on smaller frames, and with tickers that aren't like the S&P 500. It's like a Hood or something. It's still a small ticker. So, but there's still a trap in here for bears. So you have the impulse wave up right here, right? This is intended to take profit. So on the back test, this looks fine. Now, immediately when you see this, you would expect that to hold and this to fail and go down, literally to $42.42. Seriously. Now, this stock doesn't hold up the market, so it doesn't matter if we start distribution earlier. If you have the market and indexes, it has a lot of stool legs. You can cut them out one at a time, and the market will literally hold up like an index. Hood is not the index. It's not SPOOs. It's not SPY. It's not IQs. Sorry, I'm burping a little bit. You know, a little bit of stress going on. I'm doing a lot of research and shit for end of the year. So, but there's still a trap in here. Whatever happens the next day or two, Hood would need to drop under 105.19. That's it. And no matter what it comes up for like an end of the year rally, it would trade $43. It would. It should. This is called I'll type this in for you. Schlumberger topping. But there's just with candlesticks and a couple lines, you can trap someone in. And there's a bigger point here, which is if you're going to short this fucking thing, you could short it right now. I would short this right now, but if it bounces, you're fucked. I would close it right here. It's a better short here, and it's an even better short if it breaks underneath and rejects. That short right there is money. That's big money. But there's a trap in here for bears, and you can get rid of this Schlumberger's topping. I don't know if this is actually how it's written. It's probably SC or something. Can I do that? Shit. Should be doing this right now. No C. But there's a trap in here, and this is the danger when you're topping a market, even on individual tickers. The safest bet is always an index, but on this stuff right here, the danger is when you put that fucking hammer candle in up there, it doesn't necessarily mean the top. And it doesn't necessarily mean that the trade is over for this stock or the rest of the market either. Number one, Hood is not the market. Number two, if this thing broke through, it could just have a climb like this. And that could be the end of the year trade right here. The danger is in January, February, let's say we come down here and it doesn't break down. And it starts that fucked up thing for the end of the year, and all of a sudden, boom, you got a new high right here. These are called, I think they're called hidden new highs and shit like that. But when you get a hammer candle, they're messy, or they can be messy. So you can't count out, and that you could see some shit like that. This just happened on SPY, right? We just had a new high over here in SPY. So you have to be wary of this being real yet. But if you go underneath this prior low right here in this next couple days, I would expect that all this noise would result in this move down to $43. And you might be like, why would it go $43? And you want to look at volume. You want to look at like when this trade started, when it comes back down, and any kind of reason is good enough for me. I posted inside Discord earlier, UNH versus cost, and UNH did not bring the market down. Cost does not need to bring the market down. It can be assigned as a reason for bringing the market down. The market went down because of cost. The market went down because of, Japanese unwind trade. The market went down because of, you name it, new regime. There will be a bunch of different reasons given, but they're not necessarily why the market goes up and down. The market goes up and down because of accumulation, distribution, and a lot of other reasons. But if pretending like an IPO opens too high, it's been accumulated outside of markets first. They have a private market that goes for that stuff. So accumulation and distribution, I've come to learn, is more than likely the number one fucking reason for taking profit. And if they can find a reason to assign to it, they will. Whether it's good, bad, or it's politics, or it's fake fucking whatever. Not whatever, but like fake fraud or whatever that may be. You can actually look at a good example of this too with Sam, I think, our Boston Beer Company. They're just looking for a fucking reason. Some companies scam. Some companies run legal fraud to do it. Some companies take a moral stand. In particular, Costco is suing for tariffs, right? You got to understand that the Costco has to make a fucking stand for what they are as a company, and they would either go bankrupt or have to raise prices on like their chicken. I know it sounds so fucking pedestrian, but their chicken or their hot dog, their steaks are now $100 for a pack of steaks at Costco. That's a big fucking ask for a K-shaped economy, in my view. $100 for a fucking pack of New York strips. It's a lot of fucking money. How many guys out there are making more than $700,000 a week? You got to go shopping every 2 weeks. That's $200 for steak, nothing else. And their bread and butter is that middle fucking class. So they have to look at the Costco has to look and say, what am I going to do here? I built my business on this. What do? I got to take a fucking stand. Truthfully, even if they lose, whether they win, if they win in the court case, are they going to give the money back to you? No is the answer. They're still a corporation. If they lose in tariffs and make a stand publicly and say, I'm going to sue, and they lose, they now have a reason to raise prices on their hot dog. We did our best for you. And they don't lose in either outcome. So Costco takes a measured with very smart people to say, well, fuck it, we'll sue and we'll make it public. And when is Costco doing that? On a major fucking high. They've never been fucking taken down from COVID. UNH had bad publicity. It's the right time to step off, right? And they both have that same pattern. It's a very similar pattern to this one too. Now, there's no guarantee that this stock here doesn't pull a whammy and rip faces off up here. So on an individual basis for this stock in particular, I would say to you, you'd want to see if it breaks below this. That's an important thing. If it does not, it would be a bear trap. And it would be very dangerous to anyone short. So if you're trying to short the stock, I would say to you, this is pretty good here. I would get out here, like literally get out. If it breaks below, what the fuck do you care? The better trade is there. You don't just stay short here. You just get off it and wait for the rejection and then take that fucker straight down. And I do think it'll trade $43. Definitely. It'll trade less than that. It'll trade like 60 and 50, and then there'll be one quick wick, and it'll go up again. I know that's shocking, right? The other thing that this is called is on balance volume. If you don't know what this is, these guys get out of the trade and get back in again. I can write that in there for you if you want. Right in there, you can just watch this. But do not fuck around with tops if you're a fucking, I swear to God, if you're a seller, do not fuck with tops. This is the same shit as me showing you SPY. You can easily see like the fake out in here. Like, oop, it's down. Oh my God, it's back up again here. And then it's down. You know, bullshit like this before it starts heading down. So this is undecided right now as to what's going to happen to it. I think because it's hood, it's a little bit less like SPY or Qs or something like that. An index that has more legs underneath it. But if you see this thing break down underneath, it would still get like that holiday trade. And then I would short the fuck out of it down here. I kid you not. And I haven't looked at anything right now. Now, why $43 on balance volume, man? This is still accumulation and distribution. And they just released some stuff, right? Even though they're a great company, even though my view on, I used to hate Hood years ago, I hated Hood. They frustrated me. And then I was like, fuck it. They are the future in here. And I had to stop thinking so small-minded because I was so fucking frustrated that they were so basic. But they started doing futures, and you think about it, and if you think about it right now, if you look back in the early 2000s, TradingView came online, and there were a ton. If any of you have been trading since the early 2000s, there was a ton of charting companies and brokerages very similar to TradingView. They would give you could have all day long to write all the code you wanted with these companies. Open a brokerage. They're all ghosts of themselves. TradingView like swooped up and overtook all those companies. If you look at TradingView, if you look at Robinhood, if you look at Robinhood in particular, if they were able to ever breach like hey, here's your first shitty Robinhood platform. You're 18 years old, 21. Here's your Robinhood, and then here's your Webull, and then here's your Thinkorswim. Here's your Tasty trade. They would cradle to grave trade with you. Thinkorswim doesn't have that. Tasty doesn't have that. Webull's kind of in the middle, but if there was a company to take you from cradle to grave, it would definitely be Robinhood is positioned for that. Every young trader, investor, no matter their age, starts there. Matter of fact, I trade this on an account. I trade Robinhood right now. I picked it back up again, maybe a year ago. And I day trade with it now just to learn the ins and outs of it. Well, that's what I started doing with it. And I've gotten actually pretty good with it. So I'm doing it mostly because I want to see, can this fucking thing take me cradle to grave? I trade on Tasty right now, but like all my big trades Tasty, but Robinhood I use right now to have a hand in new trader. Like, what does it take to be a new trader and be successful in Robinhood consistently? And it has not been an easy fucking road. Maybe they don't want people to do that, but I would think that if you had like a year or 2 or 5 in Robinhood, you would graduate someone to higher tier platforms. They don't leave. Maybe they don't give you as much money. Maybe Webull's profits are not as good as Robinhood, but they got a pretty good goddamn way of killing you as a trader. They're not. It's the hardest platform I trade on, hands down. Hardest platform I trade on. But in that, maybe that's just the bread and butter part of this. But I would think that if they were trying to capture the entire market, they have a chance to. They've been very slow in their rollout. They have more competition coming, and Twitter's going to try that stuff. Twitter's only like 10-20% of social media, but you figure Twitter, Google, Microsoft, Reddit, believe it or not, Discord, even though they're not a public company, you're going to get fiefdoms of people in 10 or 20 years. You guys are going to live in, I'm going to be dead by then, but you guys are going to live in fiefdoms of probably government and social media and the internet, or AI, man, AI world. It's going to be fucked up, but whatever. My only point here with Robinhood is they're a big contender. This company here has they have like almost like what Gemini is to Google, and Gemini is like fucking crushing people because everybody's got fucking Chrome. Like, people are like, I don't use Chrome, bro. Yeah, well, you don't, but like 90% of everybody else does. And the AI needs access to you, your loved ones, your friends, your kids, your family, your history. They have an open fucking eye and ear and hand consuming your shit. And Robinhood is like that in a way. Whether they team up with somebody else, they team up or buy TradingView, or they get sucked into like a Google or a Twitter or something. This company here is pretty much the first fucking company that everyone uses. Everyone uses this company the first time in. Every kid, speak to any. I'm shocked with the number of people that trade on their phones. Shocked. I only trade to exit on my phone. I never ever trade on my phone. It's like laptops or fucking displays of laptops where I'm in my office. So Hood's positioned like a good buy for a long period of time, or a buyout. They might get hit on buying somebody else, but That's what companies like this do, that kind of stuff. So 43 bucks is my target, but that is not until it breaks underneath over here. I think that's a great short right now, but I would be out of this to not get caught in some kind of like squeeze higher. And I forget what this is called here. This pattern is called. It's like a, it's like a, it's like a hammer topping something. I forget what the fuck it's called, but it's very. It can be messy. It can look clean on paper, but it can be very dangerous to sellers. So you're either trying to short this to here and get out, right? In case it does something like this, you could short that again. I'd be down with that one, or anything, any kind of failure over here. Or I would only be down with shorting this if it breaks underneath. And whatever that little holiday rally bullshit is, I would be fucking selling that thing right down there. And I haven't looked at anything here. But let's go look at this right here. We got the unbalanced volume schlumbluggers shit over here. And let's look at its velocity. Quick look. And I apologize for not being able to take a peek at this. This fucking thing over here. And this is good here. This kind of says the same thing right here. Kind of see this right here. See this accumulation right here? This is massive. This is massive. The top is it's done. The high might not be in. But you can see the distribution already going on. You can see it on a weekly basis. You can see that there's been some major prior lows down here. You'd want to be tagging that one down there. I'm going to assume that this one is right around where, I'm going to assume that somewhere in there. Hey, that's even lower. That's fucking, look at how low that is. And you're coming right back to where they started right in here. And you look at this daily right here. Look at this daily right here. This is not done either. You can see that this is pretty brutal in here, isn't it? So you've got the new low down here to satisfy, right? And then you have the little pop up and then back down again over here. And this would satisfy bringing it back down over here. And the distribution on this, the more important one is this one right here. This distribution that's taking place over time, should see some kind of a, down move in here. SPY might not show it, but SPY might not show it in here. You kind of see the 5 waves in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kind of see it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's kind of done. So you have the no breakout right here, and then you're gonna get it right in there. And as soon as you get that right there, there's your break. I'll just show you exactly what it should look like. It should look like something like this. False breakout, then you got the one right here. It's still there, I think. It's either here or here. And that's when it gets on. Literally just like that right there. Pretty gnarly. A little, you don't even need that thick. Right about there. They're going to try to close this gap. They won't get it. They will not get that gap. And this is going to be the big thrust somewhere in here. You'll close likely that one right there. And that'll be your 5th wave right there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'll take that whole entire fucking A out. I know you don't want to hear that, but now there's some cool shit in here. My take on this company is they're going to be here for a long time. So I would definitely be looking on. Let's put some triggers on here and see what we got. This makes sense right here. This should be the end right here. See this gap right here? Get a gap right here. And you got a gap right here. And that monthly should be right in here. And your fifth wave is actually, so this is your fifth wave right here. So the wave goes like this. 1, 2, right? 1, 2, 3 right here. This is your 4, 5 right here. Now this will be wicking action down here. It won't be a candle. You'll only see candles for like you like see big candles right here. You'll see probably a big candle right here, and this will be a wick, and then it'll be like this, and it'll be like nothing ever happened, and it'll be out of here. But that's what it looks like to me. But the point is this one right here. Look at this really quick. The point about this is this right here. There you go. A little bit higher. 44.18. The cool part about this is that there are places to buy. Now, I can't tell if we close this or not. I think they fake you out here. I think you're going to get a lot. If it goes down this deep, I think you're going to get a lot of bears saying, "Oh, bro, we're going to take this last little bit out down here." They're not. They're going to suck you up, and that'll be your holiday, something like this. Right about there. And here, look at all that room in there for a holiday rally. That's like 94 to 110. Pretty good, right? Then you'll blast through this. They'll think it's stopping, but it's not gonna. It's gonna go straight down. Gonna break through that too. You'll get underneath that monthly trigger. Monthly trigger will come up like this. Something like that. This one will come over here. The accumulation will be down here. It is something like that, believe it or not. I don't know if you get the full thing, but this should just be a wick. And it should move up violently. Somewhere in there. This will be the place. And here's February, March, probably more like April or something. The bigger question is, do we get the second leg or not? If they can get this thing down really fast, we can go up. If they don't, there could be a second leg, but I don't believe there is. I think we're done in here. This could actually play out something even shittier, which would be like this, right? Bash down, and this could take like into April and May, right? And then up, and then down. It could play out in different ways, but this looks pretty classic right here. I don't care when this 43 comes, if it comes in September. This could come all the way in September. This could take all summer. This part right here. This part right here could take, you jackknife this down, and then we blast down for the spring, and then hover, and then wham, straight down. There's your last leg. This is a flat correction for bulls. I prefer the quicker one to go up, but that's what I got for you, brother. Now, the last part would be this. If we don't break down here, they squeeze up. This could prolong the entire thing into 26. So you do not want to take this short unless you get the break below here and the rejection. The other thing too here is, no matter where we are in here, you start buying in here. You're an accumulator in here. So you get $100, 30, 30 and 10. So you're ripping down here. Right here is 30 bucks. 30 bucks, 30 bucks. You save another 10 bucks for the way up. If I'm wrong, and let's say we start moving higher, you put on 30. If you break that new high right there, it's another 30, right? You're expecting to go up here, another 30. So you're doing the 30 this way, or you're doing the 30 at these levels. So you want to start buying at $80. Want to then buy at 60, 70 bucks, basically. And then you want to end up buying 40. I think that puts you like 50 or something, 55, 60 bucks, something like that. You save the other 10 bucks, and you can load that shit up as it starts moving higher. Unless there's something catastrophic that we can't tell. You'll probably be DCAing somewhere in this vicinity when you're done. Somewhere in here. You're not being left behind in case. One thing I hate is being left behind. So 40 bucks, worst case scenario. And no, I would never fucking wait until we get to $40. Never ever do that. When you're DCAing, you're always like, there's a level like here, here, and here. You start adding. Unless you think that this company's going to go bankrupt, commits fraud, something fucking horrendous. Sam did that. Boston Bear Company CFO came out and said, we fucked up. And they were taking stock out, and they were selling stock, and they were basing everything on White Claw and shit that wasn't going to do anything. They didn't update anyone. So unless you hear some kind of noise like that, because they'll take that fucker down to like goddamn 12. Well, they'll take it down to this is 25. They'll take this shit down to fucking 10 bucks. As long as they don't say some shit like that, that's where you go. And 44 bucks. That's where I'd be a buyer. And I'd start adding in here. I would at least start in here. Start buying for a turn. The reason I say that is because these two legs can be corrective. 1, 2, 3. And they'll start a new 5-wave up. These last waves over here are no edge. They're no edge, up or down, doesn't matter. Oh, sorry. The edges, the juice is in this leg right here. It's on the blast through the rejection, time of year, money trade. Rest of it's all noise, in my view. And don't think that Hood is the market. It's far away from the market. But anyways, that's what I see on Hood. Price target. You'll see a low next year of $43.69. There's probably I don't know, I'd call it a 15% chance. That's pretty good for that steep. 68.98 is 35-40%. But you got it, but only if you get underneath here. It's a big trade. Losing $104 to $68, pretty big. It's almost half their fucking value. But do not get sucked into this as a warning to you. I'm gonna fucking warn you guys. There's a guy out there, not me. There's some old fuck out there that is watching this right here. And I'm warning you. I've seen this before. This fucking thing right here doesn't break down below that fucking thing right there. Any old school motherfucker's gonna know that shit's going to moon. You can see it right here too, equal legs. So where do you buy this? You buy this only if there's a turn. New high right there. If it comes down here, you can buy it for the fuck around for end of year. But know that it's going to drop like a bad habit. And its monthly velocity says the same thing. So does that help? Does that don't watch this and think the market's crashing, because hood is not the market. I warn you guys, this fucking thing can run off like 1 to 5 stocks. SPY can, not hood, but SPY can fucking tear, not even SPY, like Qs can rip your fucking face off in particular. SPY will catch up in the year, but do not fuck around. Warn you guys. And like see me write something like that and be like, oh my god, but the whole market's going up, mooning. Don't do it. Spoos is like the stock. It's the top 500. It's the last to go. Qs is sensitive, but Qs tends to fucking rip faces off when we're in these topping patterns. Like Qs will fucking go straight vertical for like 3 fucking days. It'll literally take every fucking stop you have, rip your goddamn face off, and you'll find. I'm gonna tell you guys some. These fucking guys on FinTwit, they'll fucking tell you it's all crashing, and then they'll get their fucking faces ripped off. It'll be ugly. It'll be a mess. So this is a good stock though for distribution and how they can be a trap in the market without knowing it just yet. You get a little bit of down move right here and it starts bouncing like this. Well, everybody and their sister will claim they closed short right on that fucking tick over here. So watch that in particular. And the reason I'm saying that is because of this gap see this gap right here that was closed? See how it stopped right here? That's the shit right there. That's the Schlumberger shit. So you will get fucked up to the upside. Does that help you guys or no? Talking about Robinhood. is fucking no, motherfucker. God damn you, visionary. You bastard. MU? Can I do it tomorrow on the stream? I'll do it there. How about you guys want to, like, how about this? Like, so I'm trying to put out an end of the year thing for you guys. It's very complicated, very intense. I'm not joking. I'm probably on like page 900 of not writing, of reading. Literally. Like maybe not that high. Probably at like page 600 or something, but I did post my last year brief inside the Discord. It's spot on. I said if we lose the daily trigger, if we reject the daily trigger, that was the path we're taking. We rejected it. So I'll do MU tomorrow, but if you want, how about this? We're about to go on a bunch of volatility. When the volatility subsides, like if it subsides, like fucking hopefully, goddamn, like Friday, if it begins to subside, I'll do a private stream, like all day long, and I'll just go over what you guys need, like each one, item by item. I'll cite sources for each one. I'll tell you guys why and like how does it all play into each other and stuff. But I will do MU for you. I promise. Visionary, I promise. Just don't want to do it right now. I'm tired as fuck. I was working on like the stream this morning at like fucking crack of dawn. I've been just on stream. I think I'm at 7:30, so it's been a long day. But I will do that for you. And we'll do an end of the year thing. I'll write like, I'm not quite at writing it. I'm still consuming all this shit. I can tell you top line that we're fucked. I just don't know when. We can either play the late 90s playbook and we're not fucked. They did that as a precursor in the spring, in my view. The precursor for me was the spring. It reminds me of the 90s. So, but it may not be that trade. So we got to watch for things just like this, see how it plays out, play it by ear. And I'll give you 2 paths. Like if this happens, we're going to do this. If that happens, we're definitely doing that. And I just post in the Discord, and it's near perfect. It's near fucking perfect. So, I don't think you could ask for more than that shit. So we will do a day, like a full 8 hours, whether it's like a Saturday. It could be a Saturday too. I come in here at like 9 a.m. and do it from like 9 to 4 and just spend the day on your tickers. Maybe you give them to me in advance or something. So I can make it smoother and the stream quicker, running through things faster. All right, cool, visionary. I appreciate it. I gotta. Fuck. I haven't eaten since yesterday, and I gotta go to sleep. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. What's Spy doing right now? We should talk about Nvidia too. They put their high in, I think, for the year, but they're in kind of a similar place right now. You can't really call it. I'll try to find out what that top and fucking pattern is called. These things are hella dangerous. Super fucking dangerous. If they can't get underneath this shit, man, they're gonna rip this fucker straight up. So we'll look at this stuff more as the week progresses. Literally, it'll go fucking vertical. It'll literally go vertical. So, don't take this trade as done yet until you see that new fucking low under that daily trigger. If that happens, that shit is on. Yeah, the Nvidia is a weird one too. It's kind of like this one. Old school traders can see this shit. They don't even need triggers and all that stuff. Triggers are more for like dumbing shit down for you and I. But you see that new low underneath there, boy? Ooh, doggy. The one good thing too going right now is the daily trigger is going up. Bell is going up, so you still have a chance here to at least get one more squeeze out of it. The daily trigger here is telling a different story. Telling you there's a chance, a little bit of wick here to go up. So daily trigger doesn't follow. Don't get the new low. We get sucked back up in here. We need to see how this next, I want to say the next week into Monday is going to tell us way more information. There's a way higher. So, do not, if you're a bear, I would not be counting. If you're a bear or bull, I wouldn't be counting either as a win at this moment. I'd be just patient. Know that there's likely some downside vol coming. Where it ends will matter, and yeah, where it stops will matter. We blast down deep enough, we'll start looking lower. We'll do a quick holiday rally and start blasting. But I think I don't think the top's in yet. From what I can see so far, as of today, top's not in. 715 on SPOOs. But these stocks here can get annihilated while that's going on. They can smash through all this, and then this would be SPOOs doing 715 over here. So be careful of like stocks related to SPY or Qs. Make sense? All right, and we'll do a private stream this week. I'll make one of the days this week will be either in the week or on Saturday or Sunday. We will do Sunday. Might be better to see where we are after all this shit. But because if I do this for you this like right now, it doesn't matter. Like we're not really at the place where I can tell you, yeah, we blasted down. I mean, if we blast down, I could say, yeah, you're gonna get a rip in here, and then we're going down. If we pull down, if we stop in here, or sucked back up or something, don't make that new fucking low. It'd be a completely different outcome. So, we gotta wait and see until. We gotta wait and see. We really do. There's a place in here. I want you guys to know something. No one talks about this K-shaped economy, and it might be in service of a bigger bubble. It might not be a K-shaped economy for you and I, to say the least. You got to remember, if we start ramping inflation, people with money will not leave the fucking stock market. Some of you might say, well, that's because they're going to be the supply, but I think these guys are all with the regime. And if the regime wants to fight China, then I don't see how this bubble pops. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm friends with these people. I'm friends with wealthy motherfuckers, tons of them, wealth everywhere around me, and uh, these guys are, they're pro America. Forget their politics. These guys are in it to win it, and I just don't see how you destroy this bubble and not compete with China. And this is reminding me of the '90s, glaringly, where they're all in and you're not. And yeah, we might get, you might get down here and get bled, but it could be quick, like in, out, and right back up again on individual tickers. So tickers might get slammed, but you might not see the indexes get as destroyed. This thing keeps moving, at least for the next year or two, maybe 28, 29 or something if we go to war then or whatever it is. But I warn you, we're going to war. Whether it's a hot war or cold war, I don't care. That's what's going on. It's not that you can't sell chips to China. It's what are you selling to China? That's what it is. You're not selling them the same thing. You're selling them like you're selling them something that doesn't matter. They just don't have the capacity to produce, but can't compete. This is a whole nother fuck. This is like saying if you're ahead in, let's say, dial up, and your modem is now in the computer and not a cassette tape, and you want to sell them cassette tape, you have no problem selling that. Makes you more money. This is a race. We're in a race right now, and I don't know if this fails or I have just talked to another friend. I was talking to I'm in this first robotics thing with a bunch of guys that work as high level engineers in Michigan. These are old men, mentors and shit. And some of them say the same thing, like, what if this is just another fake fucking promise? And I had a conversation with a couple of these guys at this clarinet concerto or concert I was at. Not concerto, it's a song. Or not clarinet either. This concert that I was at, my daughter was playing clarinet, but we were discussing this whole thing, and this isn't. There were people really riding on this shit, whether it's fake or they're not showing you what's behind the scenes. There's a lot of money riding on this. This is big, and if that's the case, not many of these things have fucking failed in history. So they'll make it succeed. So you got to be really careful of these moments in history. You really, really fucking do. I got to warn you that I'm older and I'm reading these books about this shit. Like, I read a book recently about the car, but the first automobile. I read a book I bought a fucking story about the first car that crossed America, and it was a disaster, but it happened, and it spurred the building of the interstate highway system. Don't count these guys out. They're riding that bet, and if we can't do it as China, then you have to do it as a representative democracy. And you either have to get out of the fucking way until they crash and burn, or get out of the fucking way until they succeed. It's a bigger thing than you and I think. Anyways, it's not a conversation for here. You guys have a great night. Hope you have a wonderful evening. I'll see you in the morning. I do still think we go up in the morning and then we roll. I'm not on this. What's SPY doing right now? I haven't even looked. I'm down 12% right now in the after hours. I want to see where we open at 9 a.m. Show me the price at 9 a.m. on the bell. No, 9:30. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the morning, and look forward to talking to you guys. I think they might get the print in the morning, but I think we're green by the open.